Part 7. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 61. Li Zi was just an interlude. Apart from some controversy in the barrage, it didn't cause much waves. Some people lamented that it was just a pair, but they didn't expect that it would be shared with people in the countryside. The live broadcast continues, and the 30 million hot searches on Weibo are still fermenting. Many people came directly for the 30 million reward, and the number of online viewers in the live broadcast room almost caught up with Ni. As for Ni, because she is a rich man, everyone looked fresh on the first day, so her popularity has always been very high. Among them, someone also took a screenshot of Yingwan. Hashtag this topic has also crept up the hot couple's tail. Hashtag to be fair, Lin Mei's sister is really pretty, no worse than her elder sister. I thought Lin Mei was beautiful enough just because she was a star. Hashtag after all, there's really nothing to ridicule about Lin Mei's appearance. I didn't expect her sister to be so beautiful. Sure enough, genes can't stop her. She looks very similar to Lin Mei at first glance. Hashtag I think she looks very much like Mrs. Lin. She is the most similar to their family. No wonder she and my sister are on the show together. Hashtag so what if I look like that? He has grown up in the countryside all his life, and now that the Lin family has not taken him back, first of all, his life is not as good as that of other Lin family members. The gap is too big. Hashtag actually, it's quite sad to see her peeling radish so skillfully. She was originally a pretty young lady who could have a good life, but now she is squatting in the fields doing farm work. Bai Ya saw these comments. It's like a black man's question mark face. What's wrong with farm work? She always likes to do things herself. If you knew what she did, I'm afraid you would have to kneel down on the spot. Okay. However, the boss didn't say anything, and Bai Ya didn't dare to reveal any information about the boss. When the live broadcast started, someone pushed Yingwan on Weibo. Even those who didn't watch the live broadcast called over and asked about Bai Ya. That current celebrity live show, don't tell me that Lin Mei's sister is your boss. The other party was probably too surprised, and his voice was 8 degrees higher than usual. Bai Ya coughed, maybe you saw it wrong. The other party said firmly, impossible. I have seen her with my own eyes. Bai Ya, then you are talking nonsense. Other side. Probably because he was too shocked, the other party didn't say anything for a while. After a while, the other party slowly said, is there any new research going on over there? Or does she want to enter the entertainment industry? Let's give it to her. She spends money to build publicity. Can she give us another 10% off the patent fee? Bai Ya let out a sigh. What a beautiful idea, but shameless. If my boss wants to enter the entertainment industry, I can't just sit down and pick the resources. The country will cover them, and you still need to spend money to build momentum. I have no money to be my boss. Last year, don't you have any idea who the richest man is? The other party chuckled. I'm just saying casually, that's strange. I know Lin Jiarui from the Lin family. Last time he came to us to talk about project cooperation, but we had better options, so he must have rejected them. You found me twice, since he is the father of your boss. Hey, don't be too troublesome. Bai Ya quickly stopped him. You can do whatever you want in the business world, but don't look at my boss's face. My boss has known about them since he was a teenager. My family exists, but I haven't recognized it yet. You taste it carefully. If you are too troublesome, her patent fee will be doubled for you, so just cry on your own. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 62. Is that so? The other party said embarrassedly, then I know. Bai Ya snorted, okay, don't tell anyone about this. My boss doesn't plan to disclose his identity. It was purely an accident that he participated in the show. Okay, we will definitely know. Who dares to say anything about this? It's true that they are a big consortium. Behind them is a research institute and a super talent. If they get mad and cancel the authorization of a patent at random, they can't stand it. Now, as long as it is an emerging internet industry, there are several companies that don't cooperate with Wanteng. Who let Wanteng have such a peerless genius? There are more than a dozen paid patent authorizations on hand, not to mention the free and open technologies. With these alone, Yingwan can lie down and count money for the rest of her life. And who can guarantee that she will not continue to develop more advanced technologies in the future when she is so young? Such talents can only be recruited and cooperated. If they are offended, they will die. After hanging up the phone, Bai Ya's phone rang again, and the secretary also transferred the internal line. People kept looking for him. When they picked up the phone, they were still asking if the Yingwan in the live broadcast was the Yingwan they knew, and why Yingwan went to farm. Bai Ya was complaining crazily while answering the phone, saying that it was fine if the boss didn't come back, but now he was still tormenting him. Yingwan certainly didn't know what was going on with Bai Ya, because she was preparing to start making lunch. The live camera was now facing her, and Lin Mei was also facing her, staring at her, just waiting to eat. She didn't control herself much in the past few days, and it seemed that she had gained weight. Su Xiao's eyes twitched in the camera, watching Lin Mei's arms seemed to have gained a little weight. In fact, it doesn't affect anything at all now, but for female stars, a little fat is a dangerous signal. The key is that every time Lin Mei eats the food made by Yingwan, she can't control herself. It's so delicious, who can control it? Just like this fish today. Unknowingly, it was almost noon in this world, and the number of people who had been watching the live broadcast dropped for a while in the middle, because everyone had to go to work. Now it's almost time to rest, so everyone is back. But it is not as high as it was at the beginning. Now the live broadcast has returned to calm. Lin Mei's online number has exceeded 3 million and it has not moved much. But 3 million people is also quite scary. Because of the cooperation with the program team this time, the traffic of Meow.com has created the highest in the entire network. Stars are stars after all. This influence is beyond the reach of the big anchors of the website. 3 million people watched Yingwan handle the fish skillfully, as if making a work of art. What she is going to make today is braised fish. She put the fish in hot oil and fry it first. The movement is smooth and natural. The key is that except for the smoke of the kitchen, her expression is light, without the greasy smell of ordinary people cooking, but giving people a feeling of enjoyment. The live camera shows every second of her cooking. Barrage. Isn't this a star live broadcast? Why did she start cooking? Hey, the people next door all go to Michelin restaurants, should we be more down to earth here? Damn, I have no appetite for those steaks. I think the fish cooked by this girl will be delicious. Her cooking skills are really superb. I feel guilty for being a person who faints when taking pictures of fish. Am I seeing things? Is Lin Mei drooling beside me? Is this a food show? Damn, I am drooling. Because if I don't speak, you won't speak either. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 63. It turns out that someone can cook so artistically. Especially with Yingwan's plain face. Watching her cook is really a pleasure. From seasoning to frying, she did every step of the braised dish perfectly. The people in the live broadcast room could only watch but not smell it, but it felt that it would be very delicious. Lin Mei could clearly smell the taste of the braised dish and couldn't control it. It felt like the taste buds were jumping and saliva kept secreting from her mouth until Yingwan said, "It's done." Lin Mei immediately went to get the bowls and chopsticks and put them in the pavilion outside. They always ate here. The environment was good and it was very nourishing. Seeing Lin Mei's skilled movements, everyone in the live broadcast room was stunned, especially Lin Mei's fans. But fortunately, taking bowls and chopsticks was still within their acceptable range. They also saw the full view of this home through the camera. This environment is so good, it's just the paradise in my dream. There was no panoramic view just now, I thought it was somewhere else, now it's so beautiful, okay. Wow, their place is so beautiful. So beautiful, there are flower walls all around, it is just the place of my dreams, this rural manor is too good. We eat in the pavilion, it is so comfortable. This place is just my dream, the perfect interpretation of a small bridge and flowing water, how can Lin Mei's sister be so tasteful? This rural area is a bit beyond my expectations, the style is completely different from other homes. Lin Mei happily held the bowl and chopsticks, and Yingwan brought out the fish. There is a fish today, it is braised, without pepper, 2 people can eat it, she did not make extra dishes. Lin Mei held the bowl, yes, happy. Su Xiao kept reminding her in the headset, wait until you finish recording the show, I will see if you dare to get on the scale. Lin Mei. As long as she doesn't hear it, she will finish the meal in front of her first. After eating, I must work hard to exercise. The country breeze was blowing, and the 2 of them were eating lunch in the pavilion. It was a different experience. Unlike other families who either went to a hotel or enjoyed a luxurious dinner in a Michelin 3-star restaurant, Lin Mei's place really made people feel the warmth and comfort of eating at home. It also made people vaguely understand why Lin Mei chose to live in the countryside with her sister. Of course, this was all their imagination. Lin Mei didn't know in advance that in fact, this life was still very comfortable, except that she could only play with her mobile phone every day, which was indeed a bit boring. While eating, Lin Mei carefully suggested, wait until this weekend, let's go to the city to play. They didn't have to stay in the countryside, but Yingwan didn't want to go out. Yingwan shook his head, I haven't finished my work yet. Lin Mei sighed leisurely. After these few days, she also understood Yingwan's temperament. She knew that she was a little cold, but at least she would respond to her words, and she was not the kind of person who completely ignored people. How to say it, on the surface, she looked a bit like her younger brothers and sisters at home, but she was completely different. When Lin Baojun and Lin Baoxi talked to her, she only wanted to please them. As for Yingwan, she didn't have so many thoughts. She felt that she also needed to try to please her. However, Yingwan's response made her feel that she was not that tired. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 64. Have you ever been in a relationship? It might be a little abrupt to ask Yingwan such a question on this show, but Lin Mei really couldn't find a topic to talk to her about. The main reason is that Yingwan is already 24 years old, so there is nothing to be embarrassed about asking such a question, it's normal. Yingwan looked up at her and answered simply, no. Lin Mei was a little surprised. In her impression, Yingwan is so beautiful, there shouldn't be no one chasing her. Lin Mei was a little confused, don't want to date. Yingwan, probably. She doesn't have the time. No one has ever expressed their affection for her, except Si Lu. But Si Lu had the most direct purpose from the beginning, and the way he expressed it made Yingwan a little unable to accept it. What Yingwan didn't know was that she was too smart. She was a godlike existence in the institute. To everyone, she was the brightest pearl. Who would be so bold as to confess to her? Because most of the people she gets along with are geniuses from various countries, but none of them can compare to Yingwan. When they have academic discussions with her, if the other party can't answer the question, Yingwan will usually stare at the other party for a few seconds, making the other party feel like a fool. You know, they are all genius-level figures, ordinary people need to look up to them, but when it comes to Yingwan, they can only look up to them. Under such oppression, who has the courage to express their affection to Yingwan? She has been single for so many years, not just because she is obsessed with scientific research. Of course, she really doesn't want to fall in love. It's better to study 2 more patented technologies than to fall in love. Is there nothing you want to do? Lin Mei is really worried about Yingwan, because when she asked this question privately when she was not recording the show, Yingwan would not respond well. Now that they are recording the show, she can take the opportunity to ask a few questions. Yingwan, I have done everything I wanted to do. There is nothing I want to do now. Lin Mei was eating, looking at the side and seemed a little melancholy. Actually, I have thought about it before. If I am not a star, what would I do? I used to have good grades. When I was in college, I wanted to do marine biology research. I especially like marine biology, sharks, dolphins, but later, by chance, I entered the entertainment industry. Can make money. Her identity as the daughter of the Lin family was unknown at the beginning, and she was dug out after entering the circle. She was not valued in the Lin family at that time. Later, she found that she was popular and could make a lot of money. Her 2 younger brothers and sisters also liked to call her, so she felt at ease in the circle. In fact, she did not know the reason, but deep in her heart, she still longed for the care of her family and acquiesced to everything. Yingwan just glanced at her lightly and said nothing. Her heart-to-heart talk did not resonate with the barrage. Why don't you do your own marine research? In the end, it's because the money in the entertainment industry is easy to make. She is also the eldest daughter of the Lin family. She has never lacked money since she was a child. I just don't know why she has to enter the entertainment industry. I heard that she is not very valued at home. The elder sister is at least in the entertainment industry and has a guaranteed life. What about this younger sister? She was born in the countryside. Now Lin Mei asked her what she wanted to do, and she said she didn't want to do it. Does she not care about her own life? Does she think that she can enjoy everything in the future just because she is the daughter of the Lin family? I look down on people who have no pursuits. No wonder they can only stay in the countryside. The basic update is now 4,000 per day, usually updated in the early morning. The conditions for adding more chapters may not be met now. 1. If you enter the top 10 in the recommendation list later, you will add more chapters every week, and the top 5 will have 2 chapters. 2. For every 5,000 comments or more than 50,000 rewards in the book review area, 1 chapter will be added. You can't add more chapters during the free period, so the conditions are set to be more stringent. It depends on fate. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 65. There are too many people watching now, and the comments are messy. Some people just lick the screen, and some people keep finding faults. Su Xiao frowned slightly when looking at the comments, and wanted to remind Lin Mei in the headset not to ask questions that she shouldn't ask. However, only the program team can contact Lin Mei and others. Lin Mei should pay attention to herself, and it's best not to ask things that she shouldn't ask, otherwise if Yingwan's answer is not good, it will make the comments messy. Fortunately, after eating here, Lin Mei volunteered to clean up the dishes. I'll go wash the dishes. At least they used a dishwasher, and Lin Mei at least learned how to operate it after so long. There was no farce like the first day when the bowl was broken. Fans were a little surprised to see Lin Mei doing things so actively. Of course, black fans simply thought that Lin Mei was pretending. After all, it was a live broadcast program. If she was too lazy, the audience would see it with their own eyes. This is an uninterrupted live broadcast, and the program team can't edit and set the rhythm, so everything depends on the star's own consciousness. If you want to establish a personal image to attract fans, you must pretend throughout the whole process. Lin Mei cleaned up the dishes and asked Yingwan when she came out, "Wan Wan, What are you going to do in the afternoon? Yingwan, no, I'm taking a nap. Lin Mei hesitated. Oh. Yingwan glanced at her, what do you have to do? Lin Mei retracted her gaze, no, you go to sleep. She will also go in and take a nap later. Since there is nothing to do during the live broadcast, it is better to sleep to kill time. Life in the countryside is so boring. After eating, unless you go to the fields to farm, there is nothing to do. Lin Mei is bored. But they are bored, and some people who come to watch the live broadcast are not happy. Other families do some activities in the afternoon, including the Yuanqiwadu actor family, who went out to play together and started planning a trip for next week. It is also a way for them to show themselves in front of the audience. These stars, although they are live broadcasting, have more or less planned what to do in the next period of time to ensure that they will not make the audience feel bored and can also let the audience appreciate their lives. Like Lin Mei and Yingwan, who are simple and rough, taking a nap directly, it is real, but it is too boring. Su Xiao saw that Yingwan and Lin Mei really went into the room to sleep in the camera. The main camera could not enter Yingwan's bedroom except Lin Mei's bedroom. She didn't know what she was doing, and there was no way. She rubbed her forehead and felt that the sister really didn't care whether she was live streaming or not. The barrage was full of she really took a nap, the first day of live streaming is so real. Taking a nap is good, working dogs can't take a nap even if they want to, hey, I just slept after eating, I'm sleepy too. I'm going to sleep too, and I'll continue watching in the afternoon. Bored, I'm going to watch other stars live broadcasts. Ni is now making an appointment with her sisters to make cakes in the afternoon, look at their lives, and then look at this side, hey, the difference. I won't watch it anymore, it's really boring. Obviously, this wave of sleeping will not attract much popularity, especially compared with the other three that are still active. Soon the popularity of Lin Mei's live broadcast room began to decline in the afternoon, from the original 3 million people began to plummet. Of course, the number of people in other live broadcast rooms also began to decline, but the decline was not as severe as Lin Mei's, and it dropped to more than 1 million in a short while. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 66. Although this popularity is far beyond the reach of all anchors on the platform. But for celebrities, Zhang Shun, who is now ranked first, has 5 million viewers, which is enough to show this. Sleeping is really a dead end. Su Xiao sighed, let her sleep, she also went to take a nap, so as not to be angry. Lin Mei and her sister have no ambition at all, and don't care about the audience's opinion at all. What's more amazing is that Yingwan woke up 3 hours later. In fact, she didn't sleep for 3 hours at all. She only needed 2 hours for lunch break, but she had to do her own things most of the time. When she was done, she got up and continued to peel radishes. The rest of the audience was drunk when they saw it. She peeled radishes every day, and those who didn't know thought she was selling radishes. Wait, she was not advertising her own radishes, right? At this time, Yingwan's ears moved slightly. She heard movement in Lin Mei's room. Her hearing is more sensitive than that of ordinary people, but now Lin Mei has not closed the door of the room, she did not wear a microphone, the sound was not amplified, and only Yingwan could hear it. Lin Mei was awakened by the phone call. She looked at the phone, and her confused eyes suddenly became surprised. Because it was her father who called. In fact, compared with her mother Yu Wenzi, her father Lin Jiarui only likes her younger brother the most, but he does not blame her too much. Of course, he does not like her much, but as a daughter of the Lin family, she has done everything she should have. Occasionally, once a week or two, Lin Jiarui may call Lin Mei. Dad. Lin Mei's voice was a little confused, and Lin Jiarui on the other side also whispered to her, "You are not broadcasting now, I see you are sleeping." "I don't have a microphone." There is a camera in her room, so she gestured to the camera, and the camera screen moved to Ying Wan's side. She said, "Just say it, no one will hear you, what's going on now?" Lin Jiarui said, "I put 1 million into your account, you use this 1 million to let your sister be well influenced, take her to another place to live, and learn something from Shuadu. She is the daughter of my Lin family, how can she stay in the countryside forever?" Lin Mei. She opened her mouth, and for a moment she didn't know what to say. "You didn't say that before. Could it be that you saw that Ying Wan's image was completely different from what they imagined? She was not the kind of rustic image they thought. On the contrary, she was so beautiful and so elegant that it was hard to believe that she was a rural girl who knew nothing." Lin Jiarui now had other thoughts. Lin Mei was not really stupid. She heard some hidden meanings and said in a low voice, "You don't need to say it. I have already said this. Wan doesn't want to change places. This place is left to her by her grandfather. She will not leave in the short term and will stay here for a year. Then isn't it embarrassing for her to stay in the countryside during the live broadcast? Look at what kind of place it is. There is not even a formal place. Look at the children coming and going. How dirty it is dash." Lin Jiarui's tone of disgust could not be stopped at all. Lin Mei felt a little headache. "Dad, what's wrong with the countryside? Isn't it okay for Wan to feel good? Besides, when I asked you to help participate in this program, none of you agreed." Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 67. She still remembered what she said at the Lin family that day. It was impossible not to be angry. Lin Jiarui's voice was a little harsh. "Are you unwilling to listen to me now?" "Lin Mei, I listen to you very much, but don't forget that Ying Wan has not agreed to return to the Lin family now. Whether from a legal or moral perspective, you have no right to ask her to do anything, and her personality is not as good as you think. If I tell her these things, she will be angry." Lin Jiarui was a little angry. "You just don't listen to me. Look at what she can do now. In front of the live broadcast, she can only farm and peel radishes. What else can she do? It's so embarrassing. If you don't bring her to Shuadu, at least let her know a little about the world. Now people outside don't know how to laugh at me. After the live broadcast, you bring her to Shuadu. She is studying in the city. It's not like she doesn't know anything. Why do you have such a preconceived idea?" Lin Mei's tone was a little uncomfortable. In addition, she was woken up and was not in a good mood. She hung up the phone quickly. She had already made up her mind to separate from the Lin family and immigrate abroad after recording the show, so there was no need to quarrel with the Lin family now. She knew that the Lin family would not openly rebuke her for anything. They wanted to save face and would never show up in public. Lin Jiarui was furious when he saw that Lin Mei had rarely hung up on him, but there was nothing he could do for the time being. They were still recording the show, and he couldn't break into the show. Lin Mei answered the phone and came out, and saw Ying Wan woke up and was peeling radishes. She saw that the camera was already pointed at her, and hurriedly smiled at Ying Wan. "Wan." Ying Wan looked back at her. She heard the content of Lin Mei's call, but didn't ask anything. Lin Mei naturally thought she didn't know. It was just that she had just answered Lin Jiarui's call, and she felt a little unnatural. And she felt more and more unable to understand her family's thoughts. They clearly knew that she was going to record a show with Ying Wan, so why didn't they stop her if she felt embarrassed? They didn't care at the time, but now they saw that Ying Wan was a little different from what they imagined, so they started to educate her. Lin Mei just wanted to sneer. At this moment, Ying Wan's phone rang. She left the camera and went into the house to answer the phone. People who have nothing to do will not call her casually, and the assistant will answer the phone. Only when it is particularly urgent will the phone be directly called to her. She answered the phone, and it was Baya who called. "Boss, I didn't disturb you to record the show, did I?" At this time, Baya was staring at the computer screen, and he felt a little regretful when he saw Yingwan went into the house to answer the phone. "Oh, I really want to expose the boss's identity to slap those people in the face." Yingwan said lightly, "You can obviously choose to call at night. I have a meeting to attend in the evening, so I can't help it." Baya chuckled and said, "It's about the cooperation with Sci-fi. We have officially agreed, but you need to sign the patent authorization documents for Uxin. I'll ask someone to bring it to you. Such important documents must be brought in person." Yingwan said casually, "Just ask someone to come, I can go to the city. It only takes 2 hours from the village to the city center, so she can go out." Baya said, "Okay, Si Guanyi said he wants to meet you for dinner when he has time." Yingwan, "I'm live streaming, so I don't have time." Baya, "Okay." Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 68. If it were someone else, they would never dare to talk to the head of the SI family like this. But who can stop this guy? When he was about to hang up, Baya couldn't help but say, "Boss, do you want to know what those people on the internet say about you?" Oh, all those derogatory comments. Baya felt sick. He couldn't even imagine that if the boss's identity was exposed, it would be enough to make these people drop their jaws. "Yingwan, I don't want to know." Baya, "Okay, continue the live broadcast, I won't bother you anymore." Yingwan simply hung up the phone. Baya sighed, ruthless. Yingwan walked out and continued the live broadcast. Lin Mei didn't ask who would call her. Isn't it good for her to have her own social circle? It's just that Yingwan was busy with her own things the whole afternoon. It was a bit fresh when I first saw it, but now it seems that Yingwan is doing her own things all day, or reading comic books, and sitting there motionless for hours. After a long time, the audience can't stand it. The other three families are so exciting, why bother watching a rural life? Therefore, except for the peak period in the evening, Lin Mei's online viewers have remained stable at around 1.5 million. She successfully became the last among several live broadcast programs. Yingwan's face attracted a lot of people at first glance, and the remaining 1.5 million people stayed because of Lin Mei's face and Yingwan's face, as well as their true dream of rural life. 1.5 million people are quite good. At 8 o'clock in the evening, the first day of the live broadcast of Family Time officially ended. Su Xiao couldn't help but come to Lin Mei the moment the live broadcast ended. When he saw Lin Mei, he said, 1.5 million people, the effect is better than I thought, it's okay. Lin Mei couldn't help but check her phone in the afternoon, so she knew the number of people in the live broadcast room, and she was not too surprised. At this moment, she just asked Su Xiao, "The big guy who gave me 30 million rewards has never come out?" Su Xiao shook his head, "No." At the same time, he glanced at Yingwan who was doing something in the house, and sighed, "Are you two going to do this every day? Get up in the morning, cook, eat, feed chickens, peel radishes, farm, don't you have any other pursuits?" Lin Mei was a little silent. "You ask me what to do, is this something I can decide?" Yingwan didn't want to do anything. What could she do? Of course, she wanted to take Yingwan out to play directly, which was trouble-free, happy, and interesting. While Su Xiao and Lin Mei were discussing here, Yingwan changed out, and a car drove out of the fence. It was a very low-key van, but it was dark and you couldn't see clearly inside. Seeing Yingwan was about to go out, Lin Mei immediately asked, "Where are you going?" Yingwan said, "I'm going to the city. I have something to do." "Lin Mei, what are you doing in the city at night?" I want to go too. Yingwan, whatever you want, find a car yourself. Lin Mei. Except for the program team, there is really no car. She saw that Yingwan was obviously not going to take her with him, and felt a little embarrassed. How long will it take you? Isn't this leaving me alone at home? Yingwan looked down at the phone on her phone. Come back at 12:30. She returned immediately after signing, which was almost 12:30. Lin Mei felt relieved when she heard that she was coming back. Su Xiao had no right to ask when Yingwan got on the van and went out. Xiao Na came in with her phone and said anxiously, I see that the online reviews of our live broadcast today are not very good. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 69. Su Xiao frowned. Let me see. As soon as the live broadcast ended, she came directly to Lin Mei, so she hadn't read the comments on the internet yet. However, just by looking at today's barrage, we can guess the approximate range of evaluations. Sure enough, looking at the comments, most people felt that Lin Mei's sister's life in the countryside was too cheap. Although she has an extraordinary temperament, she has been doing farm work all day today. Compared to the relaxed and casual appearance of the other three families, and the presence of a wealthy family like Ye and I, the contrast is too obvious. It's as if everyone else is high and mighty, but when it's your turn, you're so down to earth. Most of the people who watch TV are in urban centers. Although there are also some in rural areas, their mood has changed since they entered the city. Instead, they feel that Yingwan is disgracing rural people by doing this. Do we rural people also have spiritual, cultural, and material entertainment? Who spends all day pulling carrots like she does? Of course, not everyone is indifferent to right from wrong. Some people say they like Yingwan's comfortable pastoral style very much. After all, the environment of the rural manor is really great. But there are only a few people like this. In addition, Lin Mei has a lot of negative fans on the internet. At the end of the live broadcast, there were a lot of people saying that she was so lazy during the live broadcast. Sure enough, the live broadcast now is like a mirror, and her true colors were revealed in an instant. Looking at Su Xiao, he wanted to call him crazy. Didn't Lin Mei just take a nap for a few hours in the afternoon during the live broadcast? Who doesn't take a nap? After the show ended, the fan team spontaneously organized data comparisons. Except for the short-lived reward system this morning, Lin Mei topped the list with 30 million, in other popularity data, Lin Mei was at the bottom of all. Others laughed, if Lin Mei took her sister to an amusement park, it might not be so miserable. Lin Mei also saw the comments. Compared to when she was used to being scolded, she was even calmer now. He just said, whatever they say, after recording the show, I will make some money and then quit the industry. Quit? Su Xiao was a little shocked. When did you have this idea? Lin Mei was expressionless. When my mother hit me with a cup. Su Xiao. Ziona shrank her shoulders and didn't dare to say anything. They all knew that Lin Mei's life in the Lin family was not good. It was strange that she would care about other things now that she was so heartbroken. Lin Mei added, I think Wan Wan just doesn't like noisy days. I don't think she really knows how to do anything. If she can, you have to let her show it. She is now tied to you. Su Xiao felt a little resentful. Of course this is your sister's business, I can't control it. If you think it doesn't matter, then let's leave it at that after the show. No matter what, as long as we finish recording the show, everything will be easy to talk about. She is an agent. She was originally hired by Lin Mei. She has been working with Lin Mei for so many years. If Lin Mei leaves, she will have a lot of people waiting for her to take over. She made a lot of money following Lin Mei, and she felt reluctant to part with it, but she also felt a little sorry for Lin Mei, who makes her look beautiful on the outside, but her life experience is not very good. Born in the Lin family, to outsiders she is called the eldest lady of the Lin family, and one does not know whether it is a blessing or a misfortune. At this moment, the director's voice came from the loudspeaker over there. Lin Mei, Su Xiao, can you come over for a summary meeting? Lin Mei rolled her eyes and showed the temper expected of a star. I'm going to sleep. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 70. Su Xiao, I'm going to a meeting. The director must be a little dissatisfied with the bottom data, so he needs to think of some ways. Lin Mei slept for a few hours in the afternoon. No one would believe that she would sleep now. Moreover, she lived in this house alone and would not come back at night. Su Xiao knew that she was not very courageous, so she probably hid in her room and started reading online comments again. She said she didn't care on the surface, but how could she let go so easily? Moreover, most of those people targeted Yingwan. Lin Mei felt that she had brought Yingwan in, and now that she was like this, she felt bad for Yingwan. Su Xiao could only sigh quietly. Yingwan was sitting in the back seat, and two special agents who were disguised as couriers during the day were sitting in front, including Su Han. Su Han saw Yingwan looking out the window in a daze. In fact, the countryside was so dark at night that it was difficult to see anything clearly except the endless fields. She was just in a daze. Of course, she didn't know if she was calculating other things. Su Han said respectfully in a low voice, Miss Ying, the students at your graduate school know that you are currently doing a variety show live broadcast, and they called to express their condolences. Knowing that it is not convenient for the teacher to answer the phone during the live broadcast, Su Han is currently acting as a temporary assistant. Yingwan's faint eyes were on Su Han. Su Han continued knowingly, they feel that the comments on the internet are not very sensible. Think about it, a super genius who has won enough honors for the country is someone who even holds political power in the palm of his hand. He is a national treasure in the eyes of countless professors, but he is scolded like this on the internet. Yingwan, it's okay. Netizens are just ignorant, and of course malicious attacks are purely cerebral palsy. Yingwan never cared about this. Yingwan's voice was lazy, that's what the live broadcast is like. When the live broadcast is over, you can press the news again. Su Han nodded immediately, I understand. Suppressing the news now will easily lead to backlash and speculation from many parties. It is better to let them speculate randomly. No matter how hard it is, I can't guess Yingwan's true identity. When they arrived in the city, Bai Ya immediately called to inform her that the person signing the contract had arrived. It's Silv. She wasn't surprised at all when she heard it was Si Lu. Since Si Guanyi asked Si Lu to come in the first place, he would let Si Lu have full authority over this matter. He only needed to negotiate a contract with Bai Ya from behind, just like Yingwan was a hands-off shopkeeper who only signed the contract. In the 5-star presidential suite in the city center, when I met Yingwan, Si Lu was wearing a gray shirt. He was as handsome as a mortal and was playing miniature golf in the hotel room with a golf club. When Yingwan arrived, he immediately put the golf club aside, looked at Yingwan, licked his teeth with his tongue, and said with a slightly ambiguous tone, I watched the live broadcast, you are very skilled at peeling radish, I'd like to eat the braised fish I made for your sister if I have time. Yingwan raised her chin slightly, contract, and also, why are you so confident that you think I will entertain you again? Si Lu approached Yingwan. His tall body was more than a head taller than Yingwan. He looked oppressive, but the girl's clear eyes were emotionless and not affected at all. Si Lu just looked at her and smiled, then leaned slightly closer to her, looking directly at her. His tone was low, the vibration of his voice was lower than usual, and it made people's hearts tremble even more. My relationship with you is better than that between you and your sister who I haven't seen for decades, right? Right, teacher. There was a lingering smile at the end of the teacher's voice, which made people feel so hot that their cheeks turned red.